Welcome to the Explainer. You know the feeling, right? The friction of modern air travel, juggling all the documents, worrying about lost bags, the endless delays. Well, today we're digging into a vision for how blockchain technology could completely reinvent our experience in the skies. So, what would this new world of flying actually feel like for you, the passenger? Let's take a quick glimpse into what could be coming. Okay, picture this. Instead of fumbling with boarding passes, scrolling through emails, and messing with different apps, your entire trip is bundled into one single, super secure and tamper-proof digital token right on your phone. This one thing could get you on the plane, into the lounge, and maybe even check you into your hotel. Now, this might all sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? But a massive shift back in 2025 suddenly made this all very, very real. So what was the green light that suddenly hit the fast forward button? It was a total whirlwind of a year. You had a flood of landmark laws and executive orders, the Genius Act, the Clarity Act, and others, all coming together to create something that just hadn't existed before, a clear, federal set of rules for digital assets in the US. And that is the big deal here. All of a sudden, that legal fog, that uncertainty that was holding everybody back, it just vanished. This basically gave the aviation industry a clear runway, so to speak, to confidently invest in and start building these next-generation systems. Okay, so with the rules of the game now clear, how does this technology actually reinvent your flight? Let's break down the practical stuff, from buying your ticket to grabbing your bag at the other end. First up, ticketing. Right now, airlines depend on these expensive middlemen. They're called global distribution systems, or GDS, and they can take a slice of 3 to 5% off every single ticket. A blockchain system? It just cuts them out. It allows for direct sales, and it uses something called smart contracts, which are basically just self-executing bits of code to handle all the complicated fare rules automatically. The whole thing just gets more efficient and probably cheaper. And hey, this isn't just theory. We're already seeing pioneers making moves. Germany's Hahn Air was way ahead of the curve, issuing the very first blockchain tickets way back in 2019. And now you've got giants like Emirates announcing plans to get into the game. The same logic works for your luggage. We've all had that moment of panic at the baggage carousel, right? Well, imagine your bag gets its own unique digital ID when you check it in. Then every single time it's scanned, at security, when it's sorted, when it's loaded onto the plane, a permanent, unchangeable record is added to the blockchain. Suddenly, you, the airline, everyone can track its exact location in real time. No more lost luggage mysteries. But the impact here goes way, way beyond just making things more convenient. It actually hits the absolute core of aviation safety. Industry estimates suggest that a really shocking number, somewhere between 2 and 5% of all incidents, are linked to one single, pervasive, and incredibly dangerous problem. That's right, counterfeit parts finding their way into the supply chain. It's a massive risk that the industry is constantly fighting a battle against. And this is where blockchain becomes a total game changer. It creates what's called an immutable record. The easiest way to think about it is like a permanent digital logbook for every single aircraft part, a logbook that can never be altered or erased. So every maintenance check, every time a part is transferred, it's all logged permanently. You end up with this perfect bulletproof chain of custody, all the way from the factory to the plane. A system like this makes it nearly impossible for a fake part to slip through the cracks. It's a huge boost for safety, and as a bonus, it makes things like regulatory audits so much simpler. But let's be realistic. You don't just flip a switch and transform an entire global industry overnight. There are some serious hurdles to get over before this technology can really take off. And they are major hurdles. First, you've got the cost. You're looking at something like an $8 to $15 million upfront investment just to get started. Then there's the technical side. You have to figure out how to connect this cutting-edge tech with computer systems that are, frankly, decades old. And then there's the human element. You have to convince passengers and airline staff to actually adopt a whole new way of doing things. So when you weigh these incredible opportunities against those very real challenges, what's the bottom line here? What's the big takeaway? Well, what's really interesting is that the analysis here suggests it's probably not going to be the huge legacy airlines that lead this charge. No, it's the smaller, more nimble regional airlines that are in the perfect spot. They aren't weighed down by all that old infrastructure, so they have the chance to build these modern, transparent systems right from the ground up. And if they move first, they could lock in a powerful competitive advantage. The analysis suggests this head start in efficiency, in transparency, and in the customer experience could last for a solid 5 to 7 years before the bigger players are even able to catch up. And that leaves us with one final provocative question. Are we just looking at another technology upgrade here, or is this the actual foundation for the airline of the future? The technology is ready, the regulatory groundwork is being laid. The only real question left is who's going to build on it first.